my thought process behind why I like to do it first is anything you're doing in your legs is going to involve your pelvic floor. So the more stabilized your pelvic floor is, the better contraction you get both in your hamstrings and in your quads. So doing the lying hamstring curl first allows you to focus on driving your hips down into the pad, really stabilize and activate that pelvic floor, at the same time getting the hamstrings fully short. What's going on, guys? Frank Chris from masstheticsmuscle.com, and in today's video I got my good friend Lee Hayward down from Newfoundland, Canada, and what we got for you is we got a full leg workout. It was a low volume workout. As you can see, I am dealing with an injury. I suffered a dislocated hand about a week and a half ago. So this is actually my first workout back in the gym since dealing with this injury. But Lee was in town. He's down here from Canada for business, and he stuck around for a few weeks. So we've gotten a chance to connect. Brought him in here to shoot some content for you guys. Want to film the work that we did. So I want to walk you through what we did here, kind of explaining the thought process behind why we did the workout the way that we did, and then show you guys some really cool, fun stuff that we did as far as how this workout was programmed. But basically what we did is we did start with a lying hamstring curl. As I've talked to you guys a lot of my other videos, I always like to start all of my leg training with some form of hamstring curl. I feel it really turns those muscles on, allows you to get better range, better depth, and better activations once you move on to your more compounding lifts. But why we chose this lying hamstring machine first is because I wanted to get some pelvic floor activation and stability. The biggest bottleneck in your leg growth is going to be based around the stability within your pelvis. So activating, turning that thing on first is going to allow you to get deeper contractions, more range of motion, and overall just a better training workout through the course of your lift. So we did a few sets here, really focusing on short, deep, hard contractions. Lee, was there anything that you got out of this? I mean, is this something that you've dabbled with in your workouts before?
That's new for me. Like I always start with the big exercises first.
Okay.
So if in today's workout, we started with the isolation for the hamstrings. That's new for me.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, I usually use that as like a finisher.
Okay.
But I like doing it at the beginning. It activated those hamstrings.
Yeah.
And I found it actually helped carry over when we did the big exercise.
Yeah. From a neuromuscular, from a neurological standpoint, I definitely always recommend doing some form of isometric or at least deep, hard contractions. We weren't trying to exhaust those muscle fibers by any means. We weren't doing heavy loads, but we were trying to get that brain into that muscle. Really focused on feeling those muscles work. I did a lot. I was just tapping on these hamstrings during these exercises. And he said just that little touch was turning those things on.
That was new. I mean, most people don't do that, but like say, just touching the muscle, it actually does get that mind muscle connection. You actually, you get that feeling right away.
Yeah. So we went straight from here. Lee doesn't typically train with a safety bar. I don't think that's something you had in your gym.
I have used it before, but it's not a staple. But
yeah, it's something I've shared with you guys a lot. It's my preferred method, and obviously dealing with the injury, I didn't want to squat with a bar behind my back, so I liked having the handles here. So we did some safety bars, some yoke bar squats. I opted to do them with the heel elevation, just because I've shared with you guys so many times about my preferred squatting technique for quad development. Specifically what I'm doing here, I mean by elevating my heels, by using the safety bar squat, trying to target my quads. The minute I go far enough where my hips dip, I've now lost tension on my quads. So I'm trying to prevent what would be considered a butt wink or a hip dip. So keeping all the tension on my quads.
Right.
He is a more compact individual. He's got a different technique. So he opted to do just a flat foot. But what were your thoughts? I mean, I know you used it before, but did you prefer the yoke bar, or did you like it at all? Or
I like that yoke bar. I mean, that one is a different one than I've used before.
Okay.
I find it really balanced the weight well.
Yeah.
I've used them in the past where it almost like throws the weight forward.
Oh, yeah.
Way forward. This one actually centered the weight really nice.
Yeah.
And I felt very comfortable with it. What bar is that? That's from Elite Fitness?
That's Elite FTS.
Elite FTS.
Yeah.
So they know their stuff. They make good gear.
They know what they're doing. And the biggest advantage I like from that is for me, for doing a quad dominant squat, is it enables me to put the weight a little bit more towards the front without having to balance a bar across my sternum, which you would have to do in a front bar squat. So you get a front bar benefit without having to balance and then worry about falling over. We went from the yoke bars, we then did some hack squats. Lee shared with me that
I'm not a fan of the hack squats.
He's not a fan of the hack squats.
Well, we'll move on and try something else. We've got a lot of equipment here.
Yes, sir. And we talked a little bit off camera about this, how they're all completely different. I've learned to love it just because I've worked with some great ones over the years. Not my favorite hack squat is the one that we have here, but we did a lot of that. We only did a few sets because it was bothering Lee's knees. Then we went over and did an exercise that was completely new to me. We did belt squats using the Legend Fitness, completely new machine to me. You can see my first couple reps I actually had to balance myself. But Lee, what were we focusing on with this exercise?
The belt squat is really good for getting that lower body activation without stressing your back. You're not loading your spine like you are with the barbell squat. So all the emphasis is right on the lower body. Especially, I find the hips, the hamstrings, the glutes. The lower you go, the more you feel those hips.
All driving your hips back. And if you're trying to build those glutes, if you're trying to build your squat, you want to do movements that are going to improve your lift without loading that spine. So if you're out there training for strength or training for performance, this is a great exercise to add into your arsenal because you're not getting that load on your spine, but you're still getting all that glute and hamstring work and development. And then what we did, because the chances are you guys don't have this machine, we walked you through the setup of how you would do this belt squat using a landmine, which was once again something new to me. So Lee, thank you for walking us through that. I know you guys should get a lot out of that.
Okay, so if you don't have access to the hip belt squat machine that we just used, you can do an alternative variation using the landmine and the hip belt. So Frank is set up here now. I'll just show you the setup we got here. So the landmine, we're using 2 100-pound plates just to elevate our feet a bit. If you don't have the big plates, the other option is just to use smaller plates. Instead of a 45, you could use like 25s or 35s, and just to increase the range of motion. All right, so let's just set up here. All right, so I'm gonna help him. I'm just gonna hold the weight up while he straps it in, because the drawback of this one is you have to squat in order to hook up the hip belt. All right, you good?
Yep.
All right, so I'm just going to get back here so you see the alternative variation of a hip belt. There you go. So it's the exact same movement and a much more practical way for people who don't have access to a hip belt machine, or a hip squat machine, I meant to say.
And then we finished off with just a couple sets of donkey calf raises, just to kind of put a wrap on the workout. But Lee, what were your thoughts? I know my programming is a little bit different than maybe some of the stuff you've done in the back. I mean, did you get anything out of this workout new, or anything that you'd like to add to these guys out there that don't know much about you?
Be open to trying new things. Like when it comes to training, I'm always open to trying new things. So I mean, when I came here, Frank invited me down to train at his gym. We're in his place. So I'm going to do his workout. And I like that. I mean, with my own training, I'm open to changing it up. I'm not this kind of like fixed mindset thinking you had to do the same thing over and over.
Exactly, I'm
open to changing it up. And I found that this was a really good workout. I mean, felt some muscle activation in places that I'm not normally used to. So I really like it.
And it was the same thing for me too. I mean, Lee is, like I shared with you, Lee is one of the OGs. The guy's been on the internet since 1997. So I was open to doing something that I've never done in my gym. I've been training here since the day it opened for over 2 years, and that belt squat has been here for that long, and I've never stepped foot on it. So be open to change, be open to new ideas, new thoughts. So thank you, Lee, because you showed me something that's a weakness for me. So I think that now I know I need to go do that belt squat a lot more. So thank you for that. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it. I'm gonna link up all Lee's information. You can find him. I'll put it all here in the description box below. But check him out because the guy's got incredible information. He's got more information on the internet than probably anybody when it comes to muscle building, because he's been doing it longer than anybody. So thank you so much, guys. If you're new to this channel, please make sure to hit the subscribe button. And what we are doing this week is we are giving away 1 free week of our best-selling program, Massthetic Muscle. This is a hypertrophy-based training program, very similar to the program that you saw in this workout, but I packaged it in a 3-phase program that's conclusive for 12 weeks of some of the most comprehensive muscle building that you're going to get out there. If you want this free workout, just hit that first link in the description box right there, and your email address will send the workout to you guys right away. But Frank Rich from masstheticmuscle.com, got Lee Hayward in the house from Total Fitness Bodybuilding. Thank you so much, guys.
All right, great workout.
Yeah, man. It was a pleasure. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Cool.